Would help if I hit the button.
Hey, thanks for hanging out and waiting through the dangle clacks because welcome to episode of Across the Pond. I am Josh, the Vaping Jedi, and as you can see, it's an all sausage show. Unfortunately, Angela is on a work trip, but we do have her lovely other half, Mr. Thick Nick, as well as Mr. KVTV, Jay, Klowne, whatever the hell you want to call him. Just don't call him late for supper. And Adam, Cloud Cartel UK, one of the best coil makers I've met to date. Klowne, you're there as well. So
sure.
Let's not get all red-faced. Tonight we got a good show lined up for you. It's probably just going to be Adam and I doing a lot of this.
Oh, really?
Because I don't know fuck all when it comes to anime, and I'm saying anime, not hentai, for the dirty people in the chat room.
Oh, we could talk ecchi though.
I have no idea what the fuck that is.
I come with props ready to go.
High school DxD.
Nick's got visuals.
Not around the family though. Dude, I just finished Valkyrie Drive. Holy crap.
That is anime that is made for the family in the living room on the big TV.
Oh boy, I really don't even want to know. Anyway, thank you, Frank Undy, for your $4.13 of donation a month. It helps us from not being other places. Maybe. Chat, as always, you guys are great for coming back. I don't know who's paying you, but it's certainly not us. And we're gonna. What the hell? Why? Sorry.
Hang on, that was me. I bugged that. I pressed the wrong button.
Wait, he's fucking it already.
I'm just not going to touch anything now. I'm going to sit back.
That was just a show of Adam's ego. That's all that.
I have. And thanks to Anthony Ramella for tying up all the loose ends with our intro logos, the whole 9 yards. What you do for many of our friends is amazing work. If anybody needs any multimedia assistance for whatever reason, hit up Shake and Bake Media. Let's move right on into buffets and drinks and the such as. MC Hammer, you want to start it off?
I don't know. I'm in a bit of a weird mood today. I am vaping on the Apocalypse 25 on the Denali. Billet box with the Voodoo Chucky on. Borome V2 with the Wick V2 Panglish edition. I have got the Nightmare 25 on the heavy hitter. And finally, I have the Series Mech, Tree of Life, and the Axial Pro Series. And that is it. And all of them inside has got either the Bearded Lady, Deep Fried Donuts, or Banana Man.
I heard Dick Fried Donuts.
Fried donuts. Whatever floats your boat. But mine's a deep fried donut.
It's a Dick Fried cheese filling.
Are you okay with bringing me on this show?
Absolutely.
I'm bringing a weird energy here.
Part of the weird energy.
Oh.
Okay. Next, Nick, what are you vaping on?
Oh man, I'm Mr. Disposable here. I am. Oh, what the fuck? I am vaping on a OG Bars Blimey, which is fitting. Cool mint, but it tastes like Listerine, which normally I would be down with because I like the Listerine taste. But this this is just not floating. I'm gonna have to
Whatever.
go find something else. And that's all I got. Got a bottle of water.
All right, time for the Mike's Vapes
I was gonna
moment.
say, please tell me when you go live because I'm sitting over here.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Oh man, it's all good.
It's
All right.
your channel.
Yeah, right. I got the billet box. In that, I have a was it World Ender? I'm trying to finish that last bottle that I have. Then next, I got the Lazy Vapors Mech Boro device, and that I got a peaches and cream. And lastly, we're gonna go with the Skelro, and that I got a pineapple orange guava mix that I'm adding to the menu or list or site or whatever you want to call it at this level. So yeah. That
All
is
right.
it.
So for a little bit of mouth to lung, I got a Vaporesso Cross 2 loaded up with that guava jelly salts from Eric Vinyl and Vapor. Next up, the Cthulhu AIO with a little Patty Panda in there with the snail tank. Other than a little bit of a mishap prior to the show, for some reason it decided to take a piss. It has not pissed. But thanks to Dwayne, Local Vape, and M-Turk for their sale over the weekend, I picked me up some Anarchist Purple. I forgot how good this fucking grape bubble gum is. It is amazing.
How
And
much sugar is in that?
Enough.
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be re-wicking that shit by the end of tomorrow.
Right.
And
I always
because
heard Anarchist White was the most sweetest fucking liquid in our existence.
yes, and coldest water. That's it. That's me. So a little bit of news. Hopefully, a little bit of updates. Hopefully, you guys can hear and see me, and there's no choppiness. The internet tech came out last week, and lo and behold, I don't know if anybody deals with Comcast anywhere else in the country, but all the issues are at the fucking pole or on the outside of the house, not inside, like I keep fucking telling them. So hopefully, no more potato internet. Newsy bits. The GoFundMe for Tom Sharrow's grandson Jonathan is still up and running. They need all the help that they can get. Last update I heard from Tom, Jonathan was still not awake yet, still in a coma, but was breathing on his own and showing some movement and whatnot. So hopefully, he's on a long road to any sort of recovery, but let's hope it's a better recovery than not. Unfortunately, we all know that the synthetic nicotine ban passed. I don't believe it's gotten to Biden's desk yet. But continue to flood your representatives because it may end up helping us in the long run. If it does end up getting signed into law, 30 days from the enacted date, which was the signage date, will be the effective date. 30 days from effective, products marketed before April 10th, 2022, PMTA applications are due in order to remain on the market. 90 days from the effective date, the deadline for the FDA to issue marketing orders, PMTA approval for products to stay on the market. Now, we also all know that the FDA is slower than molasses going uphill in January. So they still haven't even gotten to all of the PMTA applications that were initially submitted because, we're only going to get a few hundred. They got tens of thousands and they still can't unfuck themselves with it. Tennessee. We've got you ready for this one? A cigarette protection bill. Right.
What does that mean?
Companion bills, SB 2143 and HB 2119 would require the state of Tennessee to maintain a registry of nicotine products authorized for sale by the FDA. While there are a few new tobacco products that have been granted FDA marketing orders and approximately 55,000 others that are awaiting final decision, the selection of newer, safer nicotine products is being slashed and burned. This legislation would make Tennessee an enforcement arm of the FDA. These bills are being amended to include language from HB 2705, 2219, which contains the language for the registry and new penalties for use and possession by people under the age of 21. The latest update, it was actually pulled from the bill. The legislation, was pulled by the bill's sponsor. Got no fucking traction. Connecticut, a little bit closer to me. State Bill 367 would ban sales of vapor products in flavors other than tobacco and establish a limit on nicotine content to 35 milligrams per milliliter. The bill received a hearing on Monday the 14th. The bill's sponsor committee was the Joint Committee on Public Health. A no action vote was taken, and the conclusion of the conclusion of the public hearing. But we anticipate that SB 367 will make it through this committee with little resistance. The bill's sponsor is a committee chair. Dirty politics. What do you think? In steady contact with lawmakers can make a difference prior to their floor votes. So, vapors in Connecticut, you guys have been skating through with your elected members. It's been great. Not saying anybody's being lazy, but continue on with your advocacy, continue on with contacting your representatives, anybody that you can talk to in person. I would urge you to do that because everybody's getting the regular old form letters. Oh, thank you for contacting my office. If you would like a tour, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't want a fucking tour. I want you to pull your head out of your ass.
Now, can we put that in the letters?
Pull your head out of your ass? That would be great. I mean, we're supposed to be civil, right? I mean, they tell us we're not. They keep saying that we're not, and we aim to harm children. But anyway, CASA, everybody, I don't care who you are, 18 plus, head over to CASA. That's where you're going to get your in-depth advocacy from. It's free, but if you should choose to donate, you can. They need all the help that they can get. Also consider subscribing to the CASA podcast on SoundCloud and YouTube. You'll get some amazing information from our buddy Logan, who is now the vice president of the board of directors, along with Alex Clark. They do an amazing show, weekly, bi-weekly. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'd also like to turn your attention to, everybody here. Looking at chat, everybody knows who Nick Green is. So head over to Nick's channel on every other Tuesday for Tuesday Bro News Day. Him and Danielle Jones go into a sickening length of discussion on these bills, and the amount of information you're going to get from them versus what you get from us is going to be tantamount. So, Adam, have you been paying attention?
Yes.
Holy
I
shit.
have been paying
For
attention.
the first time in 3 shows, Adam's been paying attention to advocacy across the pond.
I've been busy. Basically, in the UK, where they've sort of turned away from obviously the advocacy side because we've pretty much got it on the lockdown at the moment. Most of the stuff that's going on at the moment is about rogue vape traders, so like your counterfeit disposables. They're looking at trying to reduce the tax on vaping products. That's pretty much everything that we're doing at the moment, trying to get out the dodgy disposables and all that out of the corner shops, and then trying to get the tax down, which would be absolutely lovely. So that for the UK, that's literally how it's been for the last time. I had a bit of a back look, and that's been literally it at the moment. So
your taxes are they like a sales tax, or are they like a sin tax?
Sales tax. So hopefully, if it all goes to plan, I'll just have a quick look. They're looking just to drop it a little bit because cigarette tax is fucking humongous, and we're trying. Basically, the whole thing the UK are doing is trying to separate vaping and cigarettes, because I'm still classed as a tobacco company, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they're trying to differentiate between the two. So it's all, they're all going off on the right foot. So let's just hope it stays that way. But for the UK, that is it. Nothing more. So it's all good in the hood.
Excellent. So the folks in the UK should be checking out the UK VIA for all the information.
Or we.vape.uk. They're not as good as, well, no, I don't mean they're not as good. They don't put the information up as quickly as UK VIA, or head over to the World Vapors Alliance. You can also, this is a bit of a horrible plug, but I'm going to do it. If you head over to my website, there's an advocacy tab, and in that it's the English, the American, European, Australian, and at the bottom there's the INCO logo. Click on that and it'll give you all the harm reduction organizations in your country. So if you don't know who it is, head over to there, and it'll get you let you know who is your local organization.
Excellent. European Union folks should be keeping up to date with IEVA and EFVI. It's all fucking alphabet soup, folks. So
you've got ETHRA in Europe and ATHRA in Australia are the main ones.
See Jeremy V in chat. What's going on, buddy? How we doing? Does anybody have anything to add? Anything that they came across in their own travels?
These two are raring to get going. I can see it in their eyes. And
I live in Texas, and Cornyn gives a fuck about vaping. That's all I gotta say. Seriously.
All right. Well, we're only 20 minutes in, so we can hit main topic time. But just before we do that, we're gonna have a little bit of an ad break from Shake and Bake. He's going to kill me, but Anthony Ramella.
Don't be a dick. Oh, I'm going to be singing that all fucking tomorrow.
Anthony Ramella and Shake and Bake Media, they not only provided that quick little ad for us, but also our intro, Adam's intro, the former intro to Weekend Bullshit. I believe also Codename Wired.
Yep.
A bunch of stuff on Mixing It Up, The Green Room. If you've watched any of those shows, you have seen his work. Hit him up if you're in any need for your media devices and your YouTube-y stuffs. That, and he's a great guy, and he's a vapor, and small businesses deserve our support. And without further ado, the reason that these two lovely bearded gentlemen are with us is anime. So from here on out, anybody who has no idea what the fuck we're talking about, join the club, because Adam and I are just going to sit here and be silent.
Well, I have had a bit of a dig. So I've seen some bits.
He's seen some bits. He said he didn't watch TV on that show he was on earlier, but he's seen some bits.
I looked on my phone and I watched a bit of that Matrix anime thing.
The animation?
Reload. Yeah, that was interesting. And
Fair
I
enough.
tried watching the Star Wars anime thing.
Star Wars Visions is pretty cool.
It was interesting. It's different. It's a completely different concept of cartoons than what I'm used to. I
You
grew
need
up
to watch
on
the anime Batman movie. It's pretty crazy.
That one's good.
Mm-hmm.
So do you two want to take it away and walk us through the journey of anime?
Where do you want us to start?
At the beginning. It's always
Oh,
the best
God.
place to stand.
Well,
The year was 1994.
Before you get into that, I do have one question. Maybe this will be able to start it off. Anime is obviously a Japanese animation. That's where it originated from.
Yes.
So what is it that, I mean, was it kind of, is it American producers that have brought it here, or was it just kind of like every other Japanese television show that made it to the United States in like syndication and movies and whatnot?
I got answers, but I don't know if Nick wants to take it.
I'll give a quick rundown over like the first, like the first couple hundred years of anime, if you will.
Yeah.
So anime started during the Edo period in Asia, and it was anime in its first incarnation was told by pictures in front of lanterns. I've got notes here. That's how like excited
He went
I am
deep
to do
on this shit.
this.
Because I was gonna start at Astro Boy, but he went.
Oh,
deep.
yeah.
At least somebody came prepared. Adam was late.
I love his face.
Yeah, I blame daylight savings time for that.
Thank you, Nick.
I've got you back, bud. The first actual animated anime was Namakura Katana, and that means blunt katana, and it was a silent anime, and that was very quickly followed up by, and I will butcher the shit out of this, Chikara to Ona Noya no Naka, which was the first anime with audio. Shortly after that, we had the 60s and Astro Boy, which Klowne had said became the big popular anime because it was very accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly thereafter, into the 70s, was the rise of stuff like mecha anime. And so you started seeing stuff like Mobile Suit Gundam. The 80s was the kind of big turn in anime where you saw a massive rise in popularity in Japan, as well as starting to see interest in America. And you also started seeing darker and grittier anime as well. Then you got the 90s, which for most people is like the golden age of anime. And that's when you got your Dragon Ball Z, Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho, Pokemon,
Sailor Moon. Saint Seiya was coming out at that point.
And of course, right towards the end of the 80s, you had Akira, which was one of the first times that universally, with the exception of people who read the manga, agreed that anime could be considered an art form and was finally really respected. And now in the last 20 years, we have everything and it's everywhere.
We are so spoiled.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, so like in the 80s, the way anime was being watched was if a friend of yours could get a bootleg from Japan, you would go hang out together, and if somebody knew Japanese, they would dub it over while watching it with you. And that was the only way you could watch anime for the longest time, because there wasn't dubbing, there wasn't subbing, nobody really put effort into that shit. So you were pretty much like, if you knew a friend that knew Japanese, you were golden. Otherwise, you couldn't enjoy it all that well.
Yeah, it was rough. And then you have the like really bad early dubs, which now we look back and they're hilarious, but it was rough for 90s and early 2000s American anime fans. It was rough for us, man. Not to mention you probably got your ass kicked at school, and like,
you got made fun of for liking anime when I was going to high school.
Oh yeah,
like junior high. It's like that's kid shows.
And I'm lucky enough where I live has a massive Asian population. So I've got a Japanese bookstore and market and everything. And so I frequent that. I took my best friend.
We have anime conventions in this area, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I took my best friend up there because we were running errands, and I was like, "Hey, have you ever seen this place?" And he's like, "Hell no, I don't know what that is." And I was like, man, the funny thing about this is like 10 years ago, I was getting the crap kicked out of me for liking this, and now this is popular and mainstream. I'm like, this is just so not fair.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like the whole emo like scene kid thing is so popular right now. When we were in high school, those kids were like not having a good time.
Yeah, no kidding.
That emo and scene shit came back.
Oh yeah, it's huge now, dude.
So it's hilarious.
So with you two, what was the anime that you watched that sort of made it a thing for you? Like sort of the one that went, wow, this is amazing. I just want to watch everything. Was there one specific show or episode of a show that you watched and it just sort of ignited that anime flame?
Okay, you like made a long answer into a short answer with that last question. Yeah, for me it was Evangelion. Like that show is amazing. Like holy crap.
What's that about?
It's this kid. It's like a mech warrior thing, but it's this kid whose dad puts him into basically a giant mech robot. The thing kind of runs on your life force. The kid doesn't want to do it, but he's being forced to do it, and he has to like kill these aliens that are supposed to like destroy the planet or some shit. And it just like they go through a lot of emotional stuff. It's like really insane. Like you'd have to watch it. It's a long series. They redid it on Netflix. I'm still not happy about it, but at least it's on a streaming service. It's just more they had to redo the voicing because they didn't have the licensing for the music or the voices, and the voice actors from the original redub they offered their services. They even said they would do it for free, but Netflix decided to just go with their own voice actors, so it sounds way off for me, and they changed a couple of the themes in it that I personally don't like, but whatever. I still recommend you watch it. How about you, Nick?
I don't know if it was necessarily the first anime I ever saw, but the Tenchi series, like Tenchi Muyo, yeah,
it was amazing.
And it's I guess it like a space adventure kind of, if I was going to put it in a genre. There was just something about it that I was so different from like Looney Tunes or anything other cartoons I was watching, and the story was really like I hate using the word, but like epic. It was a great story told on a grand scale. Like growing up, I really liked like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. And so the bigger the story, the better. And I would just come home from school every day, turn on Cartoon Network and watch.
Toonami was amazing, dude.
Just probably 2 or 3 hours just straight of
what was it? It was Tenchi Muyo, Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z. It's just amazing.
Outlaw Star.
They had so much good stuff. But yeah, like it's funny because like I am like me and Nick and you guys were talking about earlier. Like I'm actually doing an anime podcast, and we were talking about how we got into anime. And like as a kid, I used to watch Saint Seiya, but it was like an American localized version. So they changed a bunch of the themes. They rearranged the episodes to where it made no sense with the original anime, and they changed it to Warriors of the Zodiac.
Oh shit!
And that was actually one of the first animes I watched, and it was really weird thinking about that. And then after that, like Sailor Moon and Pokemon started coming on TV, and then I got into that. Then like Nick, Toonami became a thing in my life. But for me, like I said, later on Evangelion, when I watched that fully cemented like anime for me. I was like, okay, this is like beyond just fighting and this and that, like because they go into a really big in-depth story. And like even on Amazon Prime, they have the OVAs, which is like more like movies done in 4 chapters instead of like a long series. And that one, they went full all out. Like, holy crap. The emotional roller coaster they put you through and everything is, to me, like that's a well done anime. One that I recently watched is called A Lie in April, or Your Lie in April. And it's like about this kid who's a violinist, and he had quit because his mom basically pushed him to the brink of perfection to be a pianist. And then he meets this girl who's a violinist. She brings him back, and you get to see his backstory. And pretty much like his mom beat him anytime he would like fail at like playing a song perfectly. And you learn a little bit more about like his backstory and why his mom did what she did. And then the girl that's a violinist, you learn that something's going on with her. And I don't want to give spoilers on it if anybody's out there wanting to watch it, but that show they play classical music, and if you're a musician, you know, like those feels of like trying to be that person, or trying to like, because like that kid was like the top-notch player, and there's all these other kids, and these kids are like in junior high, like the characters are all in junior high, and they're going through like this vast array of emotional shit that like you don't really think kids go through, but they do. Like, I mean, as parents, sometimes we do fail, you know. I mean, my parents were beyond harsh with me, and they put me through a lot of shit. So to me, that resonated pretty hard.
So
And,
do you? Oh, sorry. Go on, Jay.
no, you can say what you want me to say.
Because I was just going to say, so from what you said,
Mhm.
tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel that you guys are like an anime because it's not like your conventional, say, like what I grew up with, which was like Ren and Stimpy and Bucky O'Hare. There's actually more depth to it than
Like I'll say
a
this,
conventional
like
cartoon.
one slight I have with American animation is that they dumb it down so hard for like the level of like say a 5-year-old, and they don't think kids can appreciate depth. And I mean, even most anime, the way it's created, it has to have like a moral something behind it. Like Pokemon, it's actually about preserving and appreciating nature. That's really what it's about. It's
Okay,
like
I never even
basically,
thought about it like that.
Mhm. And most animes do have like some moralistic backstory to it. You just got to look for it.
Okay, so they have got more depth to them than like your conventional. So is that why the both of you got into anime, and because it is more of like there's actually a story to be told. It's not just like 2 guys running around playing about and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean, even like Dragon Ball, which just seems like it's about fighting, but if you look at like their like the stories and stuff, like even the original Dragon Ball series is actually a play on the Monkey King story from China. That's where actually it comes from, and the whole Son Goku story. So it actually has like a little bit of cultural background and things like that. And yeah, they go like Dragon Ball Super was a little weird and bonkers, and it just kind of ruined a lot of what they did in Dragon Ball Z and in Dragon Ball the original series. Dragon Ball GT, that one was done for toy sales, and even they'll admit it. That was just kind of a hot pile of garbage, honestly. But also like I think his name is Toriyama, the original writer of Dragon Ball. He wasn't even involved in that project, so most Dragon Ball fans don't even accept that as canon or even part of it.
okay.
In all honesty.
Because when I was growing up, I know Dragon Ball Z got massive when I was at school. I never watched it. I didn't even know Pokemon was anime because I was obsessed with Pokemon when I was little.
That started off as a trading card game.
I've still got a load of the cards in the garage that I used to collect them. Never played it, just used to collect the cards.
I played it. It's fun. Not that difficult. Honestly, it's very simple. It's a very simple game.
But I didn't know that was anime. And you just brought up that it's all about preserving. I had no idea that it's like that.
Dude, Soul Eater was a good one too. Me and my daughter actually burned through that one together.
Yeah, so I like Soul Eater.
Anything Studio Ghibli is the shit. I'm sorry.
And when next time Angela's on, I don't know with how her camera's set up, but I've been buying her like small anime things to put up there. So she's got like a teacup from Ponyo. She's got Totoro nesting dolls. Can't remember what else I put up there, but every once in a while I'll buy something for her and put it up on the shelf.
So do you guys watch anime with your family as well? Do you sit down like with your missus and your kids and watch anime?
Oh yeah. We watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure together. We watched Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. What is this one? There's this one of this girl who's deaf. It's a really messed up movie. My daughter was like, we need to watch it. And we ended up watching together. And that, like, it gets you in the feels. You're like, holy shit. You're like, me and my brother and like my kids are watching it together. And me and my brother look at each other and we have that like face of, you're the one crying. Like, it just like, it resonates hard. Like, I mean, I was bullied as a kid. And to think of like a deaf child who's being bullied for being deaf, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? You know?
I never thought of anime having that sort of depth of story because
a lot of it is set in a lot of it's set in age groups. Like Pokemon is meant from like little to 10. Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, that's more like for teenage boys, and then there's like other stuff that gets way more mature. It hits different like topics, and then you, as Josh put earlier, you get your hentais and your ecchis, which that's fully mature fucking shit, and most of it is just ridiculous. Like I said, High School DxD, watch it. It's not the worst I've ever seen. Valkyrie Drive was so much worse, but still, the Grabbing Dragon is hilarious.
The Grabbing Dragon.
The Grabbing Dragon. Yep.
I'm tempted to Google that, but I don't know what's going to pop up on my phone. Tribal's putting about Death Note. That's what they done the film of on Netflix, wasn't it? People were going nuts about it, saying, "Oh, there's thousands of episodes, and that you can't just make one film." About it.
It's because it's kind of like they did a Dragon Ball live action one. It was called Dragon Evolution. They butchered the crap out of both of those, and it's just like, y'all need to stop. I mean,
there is so anime doesn't translate to live action well at all, and there's a reason that it's anime. I mean, there's been a couple live action adaptations that I'm like, that wasn't awful, but I wish I could get my time back. The Death Note one that is really, really bad. And that's actually I'm watching that again with Angela. That's where she's about probably I think a quarter or a third of the way through. And she's liking it so far. I'm watching I watch and like you said, I watch stuff with my daughter, my son. We pick stuff out, watch it together. Angela's starting to get on the anime train with me, and then there's stuff that I watch by myself, which is and Klowne really did a good job of touching on the vast array of topics that anime covers. It could be sad, happy, sexual. I mean, there's anime about kids in kindergarten. There's anime about there's a food anime that
Food
was
Wars
made.
is awesome.
It was made by a hentai artist. Every time anybody when they eat a meal and it's really good, their clothes burst off, and it's hilarious. It's like a ramped up Ratatouille.
Oh no, yeah, the way they explain the food, they're like, "Oh my god, it's engulfing my very being," and you see them flying and clothes are ripping off, and it's strategically done where it's still censored, and it's like so insane. I mean, like they do have genres within anime. There's shonen, which is like Dragon Ball, Naruto, stuff like that, One Piece. There is drama, there's comedy, there's slice of life, which me and Sifu have been down that rabbit hole together. We like watch this, watch that, and that's like very basic like stories where it deals with like real things, or it could do like funny things. Like one of my favorite slice of life ones is Toradora, and it's about a boy who he's kind of a weirdo and nobody really likes him because he has like this certain face and everybody thinks he's a bad guy, and it turns out his dad was actually a thief or some shit. And his this one girl that he meets, they kind of start hanging out and they like these other kids in their class, so they're going to try to help each other as the wingman. But in the middle of all that, they kind of end up falling in love with each other, and they're like seniors in high school, so they decide to elope because they're about to turn 18 anyways. And it's insane. It's a really good anime.
This is kind of an open-ended question. Is there a reason why do you think that is anime Japanese or Chinese, or is it both?
Japanese.
But do you reckon there's a reason why the Japanese have gone down this route of anime and doing like full-on stories and all that in cartoon form, and say like the Western world haven't? And
a bit of how, at least how I understand it, most of the time anime is actually adaptations from manga. Manga is Japanese comic books.
Okay.
So most of them tend to be adaptations. That's why, like Dragon Ball Z, if you ever watch it, there's a lot of filler episodes. Filler episodes are just nonsense episodes that make no sense with it, or they just drag out a story because they can't make a new episode of anime unless the manga has already come out.
Okay.
So sometimes they'll pick up shorter series, like the way they do it is in seasons. So sometimes you'll see like a short series that's like 12 episodes. Those are in between, like here, or like, I don't know if you have it in the UK, but here we have like a fall season of TV shows and a spring season of TV shows. And then
I know what you mean.
They do like some shows in between. That's what like the shorter series tend to be for, is to fill in those like time gaps and stuff. So they can bring back the fall series or the spring series, whichever it is, or fill in the summer, so that way there's something to watch.
Yeah, no, I think I might have explained it a bit wrong. Do you reckon there's why do you reckon the Japanese obviously do it as there's anime is humongous. There's thousands. If you type in anime in Google, which I did, you can get lost in hundreds of thousands of different things. Why do you reckon the Western world, like the UK, US, all that, haven't done the same thing? Is it a cultural thing where, and like when you say it comes from manga, is manga a cultural thing for adults and kids to read? Because we don't. We have kids books and adult books. Do you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah. So I think the first thing to point out is in 2020 the anime industry made $50 billion. So, and that's just anything based in Japan. So that's not import sales. That's not international sales, and that's an insane number. The Japanese are very artistic people, and the culture, and I won't get like super deep into it, but the post World War II culture of Japan created this gap of needing some sort of fantasy, and I mean that in a sense of to divert from reality. And I mean, we all are familiar with how World War II ended, and so that's why you see a lot of things like Astro Boy, where it's a futuristic Japan, and it's somewhat utopian.
Yeah.
And so from that, besides the sales figures are great, the biggest thing to remember is manga is to Japan as comic books are to the rest of the world. That the only big difference is the volumes are a little bit larger and they read backwards as in from our perspective. So they read from right
Can
to
you
left.
pass me one of those?
Other than that,
What?
not much
Attack
of a
on Titan one?
difference.
Oh, the Attack on Titan.
The other thing that I think is because like Japan has a film industry. Japan like there is live action, there are game shows that is still very much a thing of the entertainment industry in Japan, but with the accessibility of anime and manga, you are able to reach age groups from as soon as you are able to comprehend holding a book or turning on the television up to the elderly. But of course, the other thing I have to point out, so in Japan, anything that is animated is called anime there. So Disney movies are anime to them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that's one thing. Oh, go
They
ahead.
actually had the I think it was the guy that did One Piece or something like that. They asked him if Avatar: The Last Airbender was anime, because there's always that in the anime community that's become like a whole debate and argument for years now. And the guy's all like, "Well, is it animated?" And they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, then it's anime. Anime is just animation." So they treat all animation as anime over there. So it was like funny that you bring that up, because like Avatar: The Last Airbender is an American made in the style of anime,
Okay,
but
I didn't
it's
know that.
very well done. Like if you ever watch it, it's very well done. It fits all the criteria of what an anime would be. It's just because it's American. A lot of like American anime viewers want to argue that it's not. So I don't know. Personally, I still fall on the
Purists.
whole thing. But yeah, this is a manga right here for Attack on Titan. As Nick was saying, they read backwards, so you start from this side and you work your way around.
See, I wouldn't even know that. If I ever picked one up, I'd be reading it the wrong way.
Oh no, yeah. It's funny because it's hard at first when you first start reading manga. It's really hard because you want to like fight your urges to
But
read.
it's a lot thicker than what I would class as like an English or an American.
Yeah, that's just volume 1 right there.
And there's a like, let me see. Right here, that's 6 books. That's the entire series of Akira right there. It's like the 35th anniversary edition. And then from, I think, here all the way across, that's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I could see Goku from here.
And then I've got some random series, and then above, right, that's all Dragon Slayer. That's the entire Demon Slayer
Dude, you got
series.
Demon Slayer? Okay,
yeah,
I'm jealous. I love Demon Slayer.
That's pretty much I mean, there's so much like variety, and there's so much to get into that it's almost a hard place to like if somebody was like, hey, I want to get into heavy metal, I could probably name 25 bands that I could put on a mixtape to introduce people into metal. With manga or anime, it is vastly different, because you're not just like, oh, well, I like if you like Game of Thrones, okay, I could find stuff that's similar to Game of Thrones for you. But it's you now are having to cross into a different cultural background. So where even though it's a dark fantasy similar to Game of Thrones, how it's written, how the characters are portrayed, and some of the actions that happen in the series are going to coincide with a Japanese audience and what they're familiar with. So a lot of the hang up I see with people is going, oh, I don't like anime. It's weird. Okay, well, what's weird? Oh, well, there's, this stuff going on. Yeah. Well, and you have to just understand it's like watching any other country's media. And Japan is vastly different from anybody else. The UK to the US and to Canada to Norway are all different, but there's all going to be those core things that we understand.
Like
Japan
Western values.
Yeah. And so you start getting into like in the original Dragon Ball series, Goku is like a 15-year-old kid, like
No,
a
he was
young
12.
boy.
He was 12.
Yeah. Young boy. And there's a lot of, hey, I'm going to jump in the river to catch a fish because I'm hungry. He gets naked, jumps in the river,
And you get to see everything.
and so you see little Goku pee-pee, and the American audience was like, oh my God, no, you can't do that. That's CP. And it's not. I mean, there's nothing sexual about it at all. He's trying to catch a fish and doesn't want his clothes to get wet. That's pretty logical to me.
Well, that, and he had the innocence of not understanding sexual things too. Like that was another thing. Because like
he
even
grew up in the woods.
he grew up in the woods with his grandpa, and like even when he meets Bulma, he like lays down with her and lays in her crotch, and then he goes, "What happened to your wee wee?" and starts smacking her in the crotch, and she's like, "You're not supposed to touch me there." So like but he's innocent and doesn't understand these things. But it's like one of those things of you gotta understand little bits here and there.
But see, that's logic. Like you said, it's logical.
Mm-hmm.
The most of the United States is not logical.
They're so ready to get angry at everything. It's not even funny anymore. I'm so done with it.
But yeah, I mean
that's my knowledge, and it is minute. Like Adam, I had no idea that Pokemon was an anime. Used to watch that when I was a kid. I think Akira, is one that I've seen, and one that I actually stuck with for a while was on Cartoon Network. Was Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm-hmm. It's another big one.
I actually rather enjoyed that one.
And that's a good example of there's two Full Metal Alchemist. Mm-hmm. There's Full Metal Alchemist and the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Mm-hmm. The original series was coming out as the manga was being written, and the anime caught up to the manga, and so they were like, you know what? We'll just come up with our own ending. And so it diverged, much like The Walking Dead did, whereas in the comics it went one way, the TV show went the other way. And the creator of Full Metal Alchemist was like, hey, that's fine, I guess, but I want to redo this how the manga is done. So they came out with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Then you've got like One Piece. It's like 1,000-something episodes, and
they just hit over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, somehow the author is able to churn out chapters like weekly, and that's the other thing to explain. Where we have like monthly comic books, they have weekly, so they have like real thick volumes that are, it's like Shonen Jump or Ultra Jump, depending on the genre and the age group. And so each book that comes out every week will have a chapter or two of whatever series are going on currently. And then whenever a arc or enough of these chapters are printed, then they come out with a volume like this, a tankobon manga, and release it. And this is primarily what people are purchasing because it's a lot easier to get at least an arc done or something like that.
Did you just say The Walking Dead was a comic?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a hyper violent comic. If you have a weak stomach, it's in black and white. I'm not a fan. I don't like The Walking Dead. But if you like zombies, if you like human drama, It's a very highly regarded comic book, and I can totally understand why. It's just not my cup of tea.
I've never read the comic. I've seen the
I was-
TV show.
Yeah, I was obsessed with that
You could
TV
tell.
show.
You
I
could
feel
tell.
like such an idiot. I had the first probably 10 copies of the show or of the comic book, and I was like, man, I'm just waiting for this to kind of like click with me. Never did, so I just gave them to my friend, and never thought anything of it. And then probably 7 or 5 or so years ago, somebody was saying that the first issue of Walking Dead was selling for like $5,000. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Damn.
I'm like, I had the first 10, 12 issues, and I was like,
Bloody hell.
But when you reference the show and the comic going two different directions, you definitely tell that in the storyline of the TV show. And I think that's where I stopped watching it.
I feel like a lot of people stop watching.
Yeah, I think I got
Yeah,
about
yeah.
7 seasons in, and then I was too invested, and I just got like just sort of died out for me afterwards.
I stopped watching after they introduced Negan, and he bodied the Asian
Ken.
kid. And,
Is it Ken? No, can't remember what his name is now. Carl.
No, that's the
son.
Coral.
Carl.
It's made a great meme. That's all I gotta say about that. I never watched Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of this episode was basically to bring in, we're trying to diversify what we talk about. It's it's not always just vaping. It's not always just music or food. We know that there's thousands of people out there that they're not watching us, but they're into something else. And I mean, I've learned a lot, obviously, because my dumb ass didn't know Pokemon was a fucking anime. Like,
I never agree.
same thing with Sailor Moon. I'm like, fuck me. Shit, I used to watch when I was a kid.
Mhm. They actually did a remake of it, and it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it.
But I mean, today as an adult, I don't think I enjoy them quite as much as I did then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe my tastes have changed. Maybe it's because I haven't watched much. Or maybe it's because I have 2 kids and, Peppa Pig is the only thing that plays on the fucking TV.
Well, I think probably very much as well. Thinking about it, like when I said to Jay when we were speaking months and months ago when he was telling me about anime,
Mhm.
like so I'd give it a watch, but as you both were saying, it is just so fucking vast.
Mhm.
It seems like where the fuck do I start? Do you know what? I
will say-
like violent films. I like action. I don't mind a good storytelling. But then you try and Google it, and there's so much shit out there. You're like, where do I start?
I will
Right.
say, if you're skeptical, Spirited Away is a good movie to start on because it'll give you a vast,
Yeah.
gives you quite a bit in like a very short amount of time, and it gives you a really good feeling for what most anime, not all, but most can be.
Yeah, I think I stopped watching cartoons many years ago, and I don't know if Josh has gone the same route where when you stop watching animated stuff for many years and then you'll want to get back into it. I don't think you're as connected as you wanted to be like when you was a kid, but like when you guys have watched it for donkey's years, you still got that love and spirit for it. Where I think I would struggle to sit down and watch one and get that feeling like I did when I used to sit down and watch Ren and Stimpy or Bucky O'Hare. Used to be proper into it, and like Pokemon. I still know the theme tune now. It's going on in my head.
No,
that's
so
Pokemon.
you should know this by now that I am a Disney nerd. So
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
animated films and television shows have never left my head.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a great but no, I still watch like they redid Rocco's Modern Life. I rewatched that. That was great. Fuck, they redid the Animaniacs. I continue to watch that.
I didn't like that one.
There's still plenty out there that they've either redone or I've gone back to watching.
Yeah.
It's fun to get back into it.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't watched the animated cartoon. Well, apart from when Cairo City and the missus puts on Disney Plus for him, but I'd never pay too much attention to it. I think I'd probably find. Well, I'll talk about myself. I'd say I think I would struggle getting into anime. The manga, on the other hand, I think I could probably get back. I could get into for the sitting there reading, like maybe before I go to bed half hour early, lay in bed and read it. I think I could probably get into that side of it, but watching it, I don't think I would. Not to say that I think it's shit, and that's not at all. I think from what you guys are saying, it sounds fucking epic. There's something for everybody.
Yeah,
That is true.
No matter who you are, you can find one that you could watch and get involved in, get the feels for the character, follow the story, the emotional roller coasters and that. But I don't think I would go out there and make that effort with anime. But for a manga, I think if I could find one, I think I'd be quite happy to sit there and read a little comic book and then go out and buy the next one. Then I can go to it and then not go to it, if that makes sense, rather than dedicating that half hour to watching it. Reading it, I could pick it up for 10 minutes. I reckon if I started that way, I may then go into saying, oh, they do this on a TV show. I'll watch the TV show of what I've read. If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. That's so like I like physical media, of course.
Yeah.
And so like when I'm up here, I'll sit and read for however long I feel. Then I'll play a game, then I'll go back to reading or whatever. But when I am downstairs or whatever, I have this little iPad mini that I use, and there's a manga app that Viz has done, and they're one of the leading manga producers, I guess. And it's like $1.99 a month, and it's almost unlimited manga. Like you're not ever going to run out of something to read.
Yeah.
And there's everything on there. So like for $2, because a manga volume costs anywhere between $10 to $20 depending on the size, and the more mature ones cost a little bit more because kids usually won't use extra pocket money to be like, well, I really want to see some boobs, but $15.99 is a little steep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Food Wars still costs like $10.
Yeah. And then also some manga volumes have more than one volume in them. So like my Dragon Ball Z, those are 3-in-1s. Then I've got some right here, I think, is Berserk, and those are like leather bound 3 volumes, and those are $50 a pop. So but they're like full, like they're big.
Yeah, it's kind of like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure ones. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've got.
Oh, you got
those right there. That's the first half of part 4.
The covers are beautiful on those, man. Like I want one just for that reason.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of places to be able to, and most of these places offer trials. So you can go to Crunchyroll and check that out.
Crunchyroll is actually free with ads if you want to do that.
Oh yeah, perfect. Funimation bought Crunchyroll, and Funimation was the other streaming service. And they're moving everything from Funimation to Crunchyroll. So just sign up for a free Crunchyroll account.
If you have Crunchyroll, like a paid for account, you could actually use this other one called Verb, and anything they don't have on Crunchyroll, you can find through there. So there's also that avenue.
Okay. Yeah, I think it may be for me personally. I don't know if other people like. I struggle with playing video games now. I loved video games as a kid, but I will sit and play something for like 5 minutes and I get bored. And then I go off and it's the same. I don't watch a full film or a movie. I'll watch it over like a week. So I'll do like 15, 20 minutes and I'll walk away and then I'll come back to it maybe the next day. So I think maybe that's got something to do with why I don't think I'd get into anime. But the manga side of it, I reckon I could because you can close the book and go back to it.
Mhm.
And when you're saying you can get it on the iPad and that, I'm probably will give it a download and see and have a look what's out there. Because I think the last comic book I read was The Dandy. I don't know. Nick might know it, an English comic book. Desperate Dan.
Mm-mm.
You know Labino with Dennis the Menace. It's similar to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was when I was probably about 11. I think it was the
I
last
started
time.
thinking of Space Dandy. I was like, that's anime.
Yeah, I think where I got out of the that sort of world at a young age, I'm probably going to find it hard to sort of get back into it because I'm fucking here, there, and everywhere. But I've learned so much. But I didn't realize that. I thought it was just some sort of like the same thing as like Ren and Stimpy type thing, just with a lot of killing. And
It can.
I
People-
mean, you can. Like I was gonna say, Attack on Titan is like it's pretty brutal. It's not the most brutal thing you'll find. There's way worse, but like it's one of those that like it has a good story, has a lot of action going on. I mean, one of my favorite all-time ones is Hellsing, and like Nick was mentioning with the Full Metal Alchemist, when they did Hellsing, the anime, the original one, they didn't really give the manga writer a whole lot of say. So then a couple years back, they did what's called an OVA, which is like a movie version kind of thing, and it's shortened quite a bit because it went from like 20 episodes to just like 10. And the dude got to actually have full say on the creativity of it and all that. So the story's done more true to the manga. And I mean, it gets brutal. It's got like vampires and like Nazi vampires show up at one point, and it just get like no, and they like obliterate London. Like London gets destroyed. Like there's nothing left. It's like insane.
Yeah, there's a Nazi Pope. It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's like they even bring on the Ninth Crusade. Like the Vatican sends in the Ninth Crusade. So a bunch of like Catholics show up, a vampire, and the Nazis are fighting all each other in London, and they destroy the city. All the people get consumed by the main vampire. It's fucking insanity.
That sounds amazing.
It is.
That sounds like a good watch.
Yeah, it's if you like violence, that's I generally stay away, which is funny because I'm like, oh, Berserk. I stay away from anything that's actually violent or gory. I almost
You're all
strictly
into
watch
horror too.
I love slice of life, romance, and comedy anime. Like that's primarily what I am into because I love Sergeant Frog.
Yes. Not many people know Sergeant Frog.
There's a lot of like there's a lot of really like heartwarming, wholesome stories that are fun and like quirky, but not in like the annoying way to be able to tell using this medium. And like generally I wouldn't watch, like I don't watch rom-coms like that are American. Like I have zero interest in that, but I love how the characters are portrayed in anime. I like seeing the nerdy guy succeed, or I mean, God, there's
I'm watching My Dress Up Darling right now.
Oh
dude, it's so good.
Yeah, if you want something that is like funny, silly, lighthearted with like doses of sexy in it, I guess My Dress Up Darling is really good. It's weird being 30 years old and seeing, so like most of the main characters in anime or manga are
High school
18
age.
or younger. And
Yeah.
so it's really weird when people are like, oh, this character's so hot. I'm like, that character's 15. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And
I'm
I've
on
actually,
the whole thing of they're fictional characters, but I know what you mean. I mean,
yeah,
okay,
like,
did you ever see was it Maki-san Uzaki-chan wants to hang out?
it's on my list, but I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so she is 19 years old. She's in college. It's her first year of college, and she is a little tiny adorable thing. She's almost chibi. Like chibi is when they like make them more cartoony than they already are. And that on Twitter became a whole argument because she had big boobs and people are like, you're nasty, you're gross, and it's like, but she's an adult, so when the fuck can you win on this whole argument?
And I've said whether it's cartoons or real life, as long as you are of your legal age where you live and every party is consenting, knock yourself out of the park, man.
Right.
Rule 34. There is a awesome resource that you can use called My Anime List. And you can put what you're watching. You can see what other people are watching. There's reviews. So there's tons of because there's a lot of stuff. Like my daughter vets all my anime and manga for me because there's a handful of stuff that I refuse to watch or read or be involved with. And so I will, like, she will check it out first, or I'll consult my anime list. Just because there's some stuff that I'm like, can't handle that. That's just too intense.
Yeah.
But what's funny is, like, I can't even sit here and be like, oh, well, it's bad. It's not. It's just not my cup of tea, you know?
You're allowed that opinion.
Yeah, like there's a series called ReZero. And it is massively acclaimed series. People love it. It is. I can't stand it. I totally get what people see in it, just not my thing.
I'll give you the main character is beyond annoying, but beyond that, I do love the series. Like
I gave a couple episodes a watch, and I was just like, it's just too violent for me. Like it.
Okay, yeah,
If something's mean spirited, I don't want to fuck with it.
Yeah, and that one it falls in the genre of isekai, which is where like a character dies or something happens and they're either spirited away to a different reality or reborn in a different reality. And in that one, anytime he dies, he is reincarnated in the last save spot, kind of like in a video game. But he still has the experiences of that death.
Bloody hell.
So it does get very brutal. I mean, he dies in some of the most fucked up ways you can think of.
Yeah, it's like a super over the top Groundhog Day.
So do you two, do you have like a guilty pleasure anime which maybe people said that shit, it's the worst anime out there, but you actually really love it? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I'll let Nick answer and then I have my
So I love, like I said, like I mean, like I was showing you guys before, like I love like rom-com, and some of like this falls definitely into the like ecchi category. Like I bought it because I was like, this is a hilarious concept. There's an elf who is trying to go back to where elves live, but she can't because she weighs too much. And so she has to lose weight in order to get back home. That's fucking hilarious, right? And that's out there. So I'm sitting here and I'm like reading it. I open a page and it's just, they're all of a sudden in a hot spring. Everybody's naked. And I'm like, man, thank you. And so I don't have guilty pleasures. Like I don't give a shit. I walked up to the lady in Barnes and Noble and I said, I need Sweat and Soap volumes 1 and 2. Plus size elf. Tamako-chan is a fox. And there was another one that basically, if your manga comes wrapped in plastic, there's a reason.
Mhm.
And I
Either
mean,
too sexual or too
and,
violent. One of the two.
My dress up darling. And they're like, and I'm just like, I'm a grown ass man. I don't give a fuck. This is peak fiction. Like, this is what, and it's just what I like. And I mean, and it's the same thing. Like, like Sweat and Soap sounds weird. And if I showed you the cover for it, you'd be like, what the fuck? It is about a woman who, she sweats profusely. And she works for a soap company. Well, the guy who's in charge of creating scents for the company smells her sweat and is like, you smell incredible, and it inspires him to make more products. Well, you find out that it's not just her sweat, but it's when she's happy and she sweats. So her happiness is inspiring him to do better. That's awesome. Super wholesome. And it's like, it's really fucking funny. But like, I don't really have guilty pleasures. Like, hentai's cool, ecchi series are cool. Like food, like I used to watch Food Wars when I was managing a vape shop. I'd sit there on my laptop watching it, and people would be like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yo, mind your business. What coils do you need?" Like,
I mean, in all fairness, you're also the dude that did a half-naked stream at a vape shop.
fuck, that was a long time ago.
I still remember you talking about that. As far as me and guilty pleasures, I'm kind of on the same page with Nick. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm an adult and I like what I like, and I've hit that point in my existence where I don't care for people's opinions. Like, if you want to know what I'm into, I mean, like me and Nick are big music people. I like what I like, and I don't care. Like, I'm a huge metal guy, and one thing that I hate about the metal community is the gatekeepiness. That if I show up at a Cannibal Corpse concert with a Killswitch Engage shirt, somebody's gonna want to try to start shit. Even though I, as a human being, can like either genre.
Yeah.
Same goes for like manga or pretty much anything. I like what I like, and I'm happy. And like, I'll be honest, for me, again, the anime community it's beautiful, but very toxic when you get into places like Twitter and Reddit. It gets really nasty.
Well, Twitter's toxic anyway.
I know, but it just gets so bad. You think politics on Twitter is bad? Go look up anime and you'll see some shit.
Oh my god, the gatekeeping and the elitism of the manga, community is disgusting. Like, I have a 15-year-old daughter who loves anime, loves manga. She's an artist. She does art stuff. And so I see stuff from her perspective of people being shitty online. And then I also have to, like, I being a grown adult who like I barely understand how Reddit works. I just know that usually when I Google something, Reddit pops up and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That works, whatever, as long as I'm finding what I'm looking for. But there are people who are like, oh, well, if you watch this, you're bullshit. Like there's stuff I don't like. Like, I'm not a fan of Neon Genesis, and that's fine. I get that if it got you to where you are with anime and manga, cool. I'm super glad. But I'm not going to sit down and watch it because I did and I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. Like, I don't have to shit on what other people like because it makes me feel better. Like, everybody will hate on what's popular. And like Demon Slayer. That is one of the best series that I have read and watched in a really long time.
It's beautiful.
And it is, so in Japan, it's super popular with like kindergarten and up kids. And it's definitely not aimed towards them, but they love it. Like, I was just in the bookstore and a kid was probably 8 years old was coming in to pick up another volume of Demon Slayer, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, that is so cool to see. And you just you see these people that are like, oh, you like this? Well, fuck you. Your taste is bullshit. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. First off, I'm from Texas and I'll stomp a hole in your ass. Secondly, I've never understood that, and it's so rampant. And let's be real, there are some creepy fucking people on the outskirts of the anime community that are into some really weird shit, and it makes everybody else look really bad. Like, there is, like, hentai exists. There is cartoon porn, like that, absolutely. But that's not all anime. Not all. I would say most anime is not even remotely sexual. But it's the people that are trying to normalize, like hentai should be it's a special treat, right? You shouldn't. That's not something you want to do every single day. Like,
you shouldn't be consuming tons of it.
Yeah, just sprinkle that in every once in a while. Like, Plus Size Elf, I'm glad I read it. It's got a really good story. Now I'm going to go back and read something completely different. And then when I'm feeling a little spicy, I'll, just get a little bit more plus sized elf. You know what I'm saying?
I would somebody to bring in the tentacle porn. Way to go, Ern.
So, okay.
Ern's been talking about it this whole time.
So tentacle porn became a thing because in Japanese censor laws, you cannot show a male anatomy at all.
Right.
You can't show.
You cannot show any kind of penetration from a male to a woman.
Right.
But you can have
another object,
solo and tentacles, because it's not a person.
Yeah, have you ever watched Japanese porn? It's all censored because you can't show the pubis of anything. It's really weird, and I don't get how they still make so much Japanese porn. Honestly,
that's because somebody living in their mom's basement really enjoys it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they get not much choices, even though this day and age we can get just about anything. But yeah, fun times.
I thought Josh was going to say something then.
Yeah, we're coming up on the hour and a half mark, so unless you guys have got anything more pressing,
I've got one more question.
Wrapping it up here.
One more question for the both of you. If you we have this whole desert island vape, what would your guys be? Desert island manga and anime. If you had to just pick one series to take with you and one film or TV show, what would it be?
That's mean. That's all I gotta say. Sir, as in vape, I live in the variety is the spice of life.
I know. If you could just pick one, what would it be? Considering there's so much variety, what you guys have explained.
You know, for anime, I'm gonna say One Piece because I haven't watched it yet, and there's over 1,000 episodes. Yeah. So I'll have something to watch for a really long time.
I will say I made it up to episode 468.
God damn.
And it's a good story, just like it is a long, okay, on TikTok, I've seen many people do breakdowns on how long it would take you to watch it if that's all you did besides eat, shit, and sleep. And
it's like 525 hours, I think.
Yeah.
To watch all of One Piece.
Yeah, and that's not including the movies, because they've done movies too. That's just the series itself.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
1,000 episodes.
Over 1,000. They hit 1,000 like 2 months ago.
Bloody hell.
And they're still going. And I mean, the manga is still coming out. So it's not like they're even making shit up at this point.
What was that one called? One Piece?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Pirates.
Pirates, yeah. Pirates that have special powers that they get from eating special fruit. Like the main character, Luffy, he eats from the gum tree. So he has like stretchy powers.
Sounds
But-
pretty cool,
but-
actually.
But the ironic part is him being a pirate, he can't go into the water because he will sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, it's a bit of a bad profession for him. Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not me being a pirate because I can't swim.
Yeah.
It's a
Well, there
bit
you
of
go. You can relate.
an Icarus kind of situation, but yeah.
Yeah, and he wants to be
That
the
sounds
pirate king.
interesting. So,
Like,
what
in the end,
would
he wants to be the
your
pirate
manga be then? If that was your anime,
Can you say One Piece again?
It wouldn't be
Dude, I want
plus sized elf. It's good, but it's not. I'd be. Yeah, it would just. It would suck, man. You'd be horned up all the time on an island by yourself.
You're gonna go find a coconut somewhere.
You would die from
Wilson's fucked.
dehydration. Yeah, he is. Be looking at that volleyball going, you got a pretty mouth.
Fucking Wilson.
Man, I mean, you know what? For manga, I'd probably go JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because that is another super long series.
Oh, dude, fucking was it Crusaders? That one was long, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, Stardust Crusaders. It's the third part to JoJo, and
Mhm.
it is fucking long. That's usually where people start to fall off because it
Mhm.
just keeps going and going.
I'm loving Stone Ocean though. So good.
I read the manga,
Yeah.
so I'm,
You know
I'm
how it
caught,
goes.
I'm caught up all the way. Like
You're
I
on the
finished
current JoJo then?
I will. What is it? I guess it'd be part. So that's
the one
part
after
6,
Jolene, isn't
7.
it?
After Stone Ocean is Steel Ball Run. After Steel Ball
Mhm.
Run is Jojolian. And so
Okay.
I finished that. So just waiting on the final JoJo part, which I
Mhm.
never thought I would see in my lifetime. But a lot of these manga authors are they're getting old. They're
Mhm.
hitting their 50s and 60s, and in the case of Berserk, Kentaro Miura, he recently passed away and never got to finish Berserk. And there's a lot of manga authors that are not in the best of health because Japanese work culture is unlike anything else on this planet.
Mhm.
And
they get prepaid overtime, don't they? Because they're expected to do. Is it at least
Sure.
40 hours overtime or
Okay.
something?
Okay. I have a story because you said that. So like I said, there's anime conventions here, right? And we went to ACON one year and they were having a panel with a guy that had worked in Japan on anime and had worked for Marvel with the comic book. He started off in Marvel and he didn't care for the pay, he didn't care for the long hours. He said, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go make it in Japan. He went to Japan. The workload was 4 times as much and the pay was a third of what he was making here. So it's full on passion. And I mean, if you go on YouTube, there is a video where they show a manga author and they do a rundown of his week on how he does the manga, business meetings, all this stuff. And it's very interesting to watch. And I mean, his studio is literally the first floor of his house. So he goes from his bedroom downstairs and just sits at a iPad or whatever and just starts drawing the fuck away with like 2 other assistants. And that's all he gets. He doesn't get like a big staff or anything.
Fuck.
That's all. Like sometimes when like you watch anime and you notice that like the animation kind of loses quality, is because they had to like either get through really fast or the budget got cut and they need to like just get done.
Bloody hell. I'll be interested to watch that. Just get a bit of an idea. I have to have a look for that. So,
But,
Jay, what is your desert islands before we end?
Tribal Buddha actually gave me an answer on the anime. I would say Sword Art Online because it's actually one of my favorite ones.
it's
I've
good.
watched the entire series. I actually own figures of all the characters and of Kirito in each series except for the current one. No, actually, even the current one, I think I own that one. But I have a figure of each series, so like, yeah, that's actually one of my all-time favorites. So we'll go with that. And then manga, I would go with Food Wars, mostly because I can't find most of them because they went out of production. So whatever's out in the ether, that's all I can get. So I haven't been able to find book 2. And if somebody can just hook me up with all of them, I'll take it.
Oh, cool. Go on, Josh.
Excellent. Well, I definitely learned a few things tonight.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Definitely gonna start Googling and whatnot. And thankfully, these two aren't much more of a keyboard. Hey, let's give me some advice away. So, right now we're gonna open it up to chat to start coming up with some songs for the playlist. And we're gonna get some songs from our lovely guests as well. Adam's not prepared.
No, I'm getting the pen ready.
Did you ever unlock the codename Wire one, or is that still just in your pad?
No, that's all. That's all on the. That's all. I think I've got last week's to put on, and we're up to date. So for our show, it'll be on. Mate, I can't believe I fucking deleted everything.
Fuck.
Well, he went and fucked ours too.
Really?
And I fucked all my playlists as well.
Yeah.
So the only playlist I've got on my phone is fucking Coco Melon. The little one.
That's the best anime of all time.
Hey. As long as it's not Caillou, you're fine.
Oh, okay. So, because you said that, my daughter, for some reason, has gotten into Korean kids shows, and she like makes me listen to the theme song to one of them. It's called Tatayo. Oh God.
Yep.
It's that's all I gotta say. She's 16, so she loves torturing me. She's like, it's so good. She's so big into K-pop, it's not even funny.
We've got a K-pop store
Yeah.
right over here by the house.
No, right now it's Twice is going to be in Fort Worth.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, and she's been complaining about it, but tickets are $250 a pop.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
That's how I felt. I was like, kid, I love you, but not that much. We need to be able to reach. Then the thing is, I would have to get 2 tickets so one of us could take her.
Yeah.
And I don't mind listening to Twice. They're actually pretty decent, but $250.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't think I love music. There is nobody living or dead that I would pay $250 to see. Let alone go to a concert in general, man. I'm sitting down in this air conditioned.
Well, you're talking seating. That's not general. That's just seating. It's at the Will Rogers Arena, so you know.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. That's a hard sell for me.
Yeah,
I paid $180 to see Ozzy Osbourne on Black Label Society live. That was good.
The most I've paid is $80, and even that hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurt, but
but you got to see Ozzy and Zach Wild.
and it was at his peak of his just before he had the quad bike accident. So he was high as a kite. For 2 hours, he was just running backwards and forwards, and we're going, he's going to drop dead in a minute. He's going to drop dead in a minute. Fucking made it to the end. Fucking unbelievable.
He did that at every show, ran back and forth and back and forth.
Oh,
My God.
fucking epic gig, though.
It's like I saw a video of Tom Araya talking about how the headbanging has finally caught up with him, and he's having like spinal issues and stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's all like, yeah, try
That man
doing
is a
that for
mess.
like 30 years. It'll
That
catch
man
up
is
with
an
you.
absolute mess. So you know what? I'll go ahead and start off the songs. Adam, you ready?
Poised and ready.
Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And Wheel in the Sky by Journey.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say Wheels on the Bus. Yep.
I would pick that one. That's why.
Shout him out. Who wants to go next?
So we get 2.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna add To the Hellfire from Lorna Shore.
Hell yeah,
Dude, that song is epic. The ending, I wish I could do vocals like that. I cannot reach those fucking levels. And what's the other one? I had another one in my head, but I forgot it. Here, give me a second. What is it? Shit. I know the band, but I can't remember the song. Get back to me. I'll get you.
Nick, have you got your two songs?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go with My Hero by Foo Fighters. Since we just lost Taylor Hawkins.
Dude, like what the fuck?
I'm
While
gonna
they
say
were
it
on
right
tour.
now. I'm gonna say drug related.
Most
But,
likely, but still, what the fuck?
Yeah, that
He
sucks.
wasn't even
man.
that old, man.
50
What are you,
years old.
50?
Yeah. He was
Left
also the
two kids
original
as
drummer
well.
for Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
And for my second song, I'm gonna do this for Klowne. A Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Nice.
And I don't know who the fuck sings it, so
You can find it.
it'll be the one with the purple robot on it.
So I'm just gonna put that in brackets. Purple robot.
Then for my second song, I wanted to do Constance from Spirit Box.
We got some Will Ramos love there.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pick Demolisher by Slaughter to Prevail and Sickick, I Can Feel It, which is a mashup between Phil Collins and Michael Jackson. It's a pretty cool little mix. So we got any coming up in chat?
Just two from Ern.
It's funny, all I'm thinking is David Bowie and Mick Jagger, that song. And he said mashups.
I love that the video where they take and it's just them and their feet scooting on the ground.
Yeah, and they're just like in pajamas and trench coats.
Well, keeping with tonight's theme, let's go with what Tribal Buddha just put up. Amelie's version of a song from Sword Art Online Ignite. It's in English, or Amelie's Veracity from Overlord 3.
Nice.
Cool.
Sword Art Online is a really good anime, and that's another thing that the anime community shits on because it was so popular. And it's very accessible. The gist of it is there's an online video game like World of Warcraft, and
but you
everybody
can do
logs
VR
in
where
to
you
play
go
it,
into the game,
and then you can't log out. And if you die in the game, you die in real life. So it's really good. I'm not even gonna lie. Before like the new series started, the end of the show had me weeping like a baby. I was full on ugly crying.
You know, they're actually talking about doing the next one.
I'd watch it.
Alicization. Honestly, I didn't know how I would feel about Alicization, but holy shit, it was amazing. The whole like part A and part B. Like I still haven't seen the that offshoot Gungale one, but I still got to give it a try.
NSYNC bye from Mike.
See, those are the moments where like, what's his name? Vandal. He put some of those most offshoot songs you can think of. He'll add Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
All right. So here we are, rounding everything out. I'm going to go ahead and thank our sponsor one last time, Anthony Ramella, Shake and Bake Media. Thank you again for the lovely work that you do, both here and everywhere else that you have touched lovingly. Frank
Undy,
Undy,
judge the same thing.
You one and only. Thanks, buddy. $4.13. It's it doesn't get us very far, but it does something. It keeps us coming back here to you folks. We don't, as far as myself and Adam, our social medias and whatnot are scrolling at the bottom of the screen because of this lovely new software. We no longer have to pimp our own shit, unless Adam has some new updates and whatnot. But as far as our guests, we will allow them their time to pimp their own shit, because these two lovely gentlemen deserve all the love and respect that we get here. So, Nick, why don't you start us off with who you are, where you come from, what you do, and where people can find you.
I'm Nick. I'm thick, and I am very active over on TikTok of all places. That's where you can also find the link to my OnlyFans.
Woo!
Actually, I don't know what my TikTok. Hold on. God, I don't have my glasses, so you got to bear with me. You can find me on TikTok. It's at Thickest Nick. In fact, if you just look up Thick Nick or Thickest Nick on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, you'll find me. On Twitter, I am at Mega Mommy Milker.
Love it.
And I am actually on a weight loss journey. Outside of anime, the only other thing I do is work out. And I am down 2 shirt sizes in 3 months.
Fuck yeah. Hold on,
And
mate.
thank you. Appreciate it. So if you want to follow along there or see what else kind of shit I'm getting into, you're more than welcome to follow me. I don't really have any goals for anything other than just sharing that if I can do something, you can do it, and I believe in you. So, but yeah, other than that.
Are you still doing your armchair Imagineers?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So, I also have a Disney podcast that I have not worked on in a while, just because I've been working out and watching anime. And it's a podcast about Disney history, and it is Armchair Imagineer podcast, and it's literally on every platform. I guess Spotify is the most popular thing. You'll know it's me. You'll see the logo, which was drawn by my daughter. So shout out to her. But yeah, I will get back on that. I just haven't had the chance to really put forth the effort that I want to give to it, and life gets in the way. So
yeah, I mean that's the thing. We're all parents. We all have full-time jobs. We all have lives. This is our fun.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of content for you to lap up if they're quick bursts. No more than 20 minutes, and I'd like to think the production quality is pretty good. So if you are interested in Disney history, you can check out the Armchair Imagineer podcast.
It's got a very soothing voice.
Oh, the wife loves it. I think she's listened to it a couple of times over.
Nice.
Jay?
All right, it's my turn. All right. Go check
I
me
think
out.
the list is shorter of where you can't find Jay.
Yeah, no kidding. You can find me on Discord, Instagram, Facebook. I will say with all the weird shit that's going on Instagram, if you message me on there, I will be very cautious because I'm all paranoid because of what happened to Sifu, Poon Sauce, Mandalorian, and a couple of other of our friends.
Oh, did they hit Mando too?
Yeah, they hit Mando like 2 weeks ago. He had to do a whole new profile and stuff, so he had to start over.
They hit Scott Cleverly too.
Did they? God, that's so awful. So yeah, sorry if I get all weary about your messages. Don't ask me for crypto, and we'll be good. Because that's all they get you. Apparently, they're asking for crypto or some dumb shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find me there. Also, I have reopened the website if you guys want to get some coils, and I'm still working on adding the liquids. But if you want to get stuff on there, go check out kvtvshop.com. We're doing that again, and I'm excited about that. And on my channel on Tuesdays, we do a DIY show you some mixing. We have some fun. We come up with random ideas and just see what we end up doing. Tribal Buddha, Overdrip, and Sifu are my co-hosts on that show, and we just have a blast doing what we do. And we end up learning more about Overdrip's dislikes of food, because honestly, that's what every episode's kind of turning into. Slimy cucumbers. I still want to know where he's finding these, but okay. Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think we razz him too hard, but he takes it with a good. He's a good sport. What else? Oh yeah, I was gonna say I liked saying this on mixing it up, but I'm gonna say it here too. For people like Em and myself, where we are like, you know, like sole owned businesses and stuff, we don't get your items out within like a day or two, please just bear with us, because sometimes family stuff comes up or we have busy lives. Like my derpy ass works overnight and it's finally catching up to my old age. I know I'm not that old, but doing this for 14 years, I'm finally getting sleep at least. Like I was actually looking through my Samsung Health Analytics, and I'm sleeping like roughly 6 hours a day now, which
Oh, nice.
for me, that's a good thing, because in high school, I was sleeping an hour a day, if that. And in my 20s, I would go like on 3-day benders where it was work bar, and I would just go home to like change to get to work. Like, yeah, like it was bad. So
Right,
the fact that I
windows down so you dry out.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I would show up to work so obliterated, and they let me walk around with heavy machinery. It was not good, but it was fun. They actually would run a poll on how many beers I had that night when I would show up to work. It was bad. But so yeah, be kind to people like ourselves, because again, we're providing a service, and like I've said before, if there's zero communication after 2 weeks, have at it. I don't fucking care at that point. Just put people on blast. But if we're still communicating and letting you know what things are going on, like last year, I had a huge coil order to fill, and right as that happened, my kids came over, and turned out my son had gotten COVID from somebody at school.
Oof.
So basically, he got quarantined into his room. My daughter was sleeping in the living room, and they hung out with me all week, which I only get them on weekends. So that was a whole interesting thing. Me and my daughter ended up watching, what is that movie? Book of Life, almost once every day.
It's a good movie, man.
Dude, it's a good movie, but it does get a little tiresome, but we kept going. We're going to watch this every day. We're going to watch every day. We ended up watching Coco, which I love that movie.
That was
And like,
a really good movie.
dude, like every weekend they come over, we watch Encanto at least once.
Love that
Because
movie.
So good. So good.
I love that movie, but the only part I hate about it is that the grandma apologized. No Latino grandma would ever fucking apologize. I'm sorry. That's the truth of it.
I've witnessed it firsthand.
Uh-huh.
Ain't happening.
It ain't happening. No. My mother to this day, if you tell her, you used to spank me, I never did such things. I had never touched you or laid a finger on you. I have scars, lady. Like I have literal scars.
You did that yourself.
Yeah.
Fell.
No, it's more like when I get onto my kid, she's like, I was never that mean to you. I was like, lady, you were worse. Anything within reach was a weapon.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like the Portuguese and the Irish as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the Catholicism.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I hate to really end things on well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to end things quite so badly at first.
Oh, I've got an update before you finish.
I'm going to punch you in the goddamn throat.
Oh, Codename Wired tomorrow.
That's what I was going to do. Codename Wired tomorrow at 9:30. We will start on time. Just went for a poo. That's why we were late. So we couldn't get on.
Sure. Captain Farty over there. I saw that face you were making when you muted yourself.
He's going to rip a hole in the chair that we bought him.
Sir Gassy.
But yeah, just remember to come and check us out on Codename Wired tomorrow at 9:30. Jay is going to be building on live as well. So that'll be good.
Staple.
And also, merch has already been uploaded. There is a load more coming. All in all, by the end of the month, we will have 40 designs out on the website. Going to get them embedded into the website. So if you want coils, cloudcartel.co.uk. Down in the ticker, it's not my new Instagram because I was the only one who didn't get hacked but managed to lock myself out of Instagram, which is
in true Adam form. Just saying.
yeah. So if you want to follow me, it's Cloud Cartel official page now.
I like when you did that. A lot of people were like, "Did you get hacked?"
Do you know the worst thing was? Sifu message was, "Oh damn man, I feel really sorry for you. You got done as well." I was like, "Nope, I done it to myself."
Been like, yo, yeah, those bastards.
Yeah, see, I couldn't lie. I have to. I think that's my problem. I'm just too fucking honest to make myself look fucking stupid all the time.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
No,
Right.
true. You got to be honest. But yeah, no, that's my only updates. So thank you. Over to you, Josh.
So one thing.
One more thing. I'm only joking.
I'm gonna take the 6-hour flight. Wake you up when I get there. Kick you square in the nuts. Turn around and go back home.
Dude, you hear that? He went full Boston in his accent.
Yeah.
Normally, it's not that hard.
All right. Somehow I ended up now being a brand ambassador for Vapresso. Part of their pro shop team. If anybody in chat owns a shop or works at a shop that would like to be connected with the pro shop team, give me a shout and I will set you up with an invitation code. You get all sorts of merchandise and devices and things for your shop and whatnot, display models and displays and whatnot. It's actually really cool. One of the rep that I've been dealing with most. She's very nice. She's new to vaping, but she's not new to Vapresso, which is kind of odd. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Unfortunately, I do have to end it on somewhat of a sad note. Our friend here, Pete Bird, his dog is not doing so well. Keep his family and his fur baby in your thoughts.
Yeah, I saw that.
Should you want any more information, hit him up in the Grim Army Facebook group. But anyway, I want to thank you, Nick and Jay, for stopping by and hanging out with us and enlightening us into the world of anime. You guys always have a seat in this panel. And I think we're good. Anybody else got anything else that they want to say? Nothing? No, Adam
I'm
doesn't
good.
want to kick the nuts. So, all right. Everyone, thank you very much once again. Thanks to the chat. Thanks to our sponsor. Thanks to just everyone. We love you all. Thanks for coming out and hanging out. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.